Hello, this is episode 3 of Twinmotion tutorials for beginners. And in this episode, I'm going to cover on how to add trees, vegetations, and different objects in the Twinmotion library that we can use. So at first, I'm going to put some trees or even grass on our property or like our yard right here. So yeah, before adding some trees, I'm going to add some grass first. So you can see that this lawn right here is our grass. So in Revit, I set this materials to be grass. So when adding grass in Twinmotion, there are two ways that you can add it. So in Twinmotion 2025, there is a 3D grass material right here. Wait, is it? Yeah, right here. So you can just drag it and as just like applying a materials. I'll show you how it is. So you can click 3D grass and you can drag the materials in and it will auto generate like the grass in Twinmotion for you guys. So you can move around and check it out, and you can even change the appearance of it. So let's say I click and I change the appearance. Right now it's set to lawn grass, which is the default type, but you can set to dead scrub, mixed grass, or whatever it is. Yeah, and you can even change the height of it or cut fuzziness, whatever. You can play around with these numbers to find out, but usually the default number is pretty good itself. So yeah, the second way on how you can add grass. So I'm gonna Control Z to return to the original shape. So in Twinmotion before 2025, like 2024 and previous to that, you're gonna have to add it one by one. Like when I say add it one by one, I mean like you're gonna have to manually add the grass in. So I would go to ground materials, man-made. No, not man-made, but nature, I think. And you're gonna have to drag and drop the grass in. So first of all, you're gonna drag the grass materials in first. So this is just like a grass field kind of materials. There's no 3D aspect to it. And what I usually do is I drag this grass and I put it to the background as well, like the default Twinmotion surface. So when you render, I'm gonna show you the image. So when you render it, like the far back does not have any, the original yellow color, like this color right here. So this is usually what I do in the Twinmotion 2024 and previous to that. And in order to add the 3D grass, you're gonna have to. There are two ways you can do that. So there's this populate tool right here. So you click that, and that's the default populate tool is paint. So you're gonna have to paint the grass in. So let's say you go to, library and vegetation, and grass and flowers, and you just drag the type of grass that you want to use. So I usually go with lawn, and sometimes long grass one doesn't seem as bad, and I'll drag to see so you guys can see what I mean. So if you drag it here, you can see like the 3D grass is starting to be formed, and you can click each type of grass to change the property of that grass within our paint. So let's say I click this lawn one type of grass, and I increase the density, so it will be more dense, and I increase the type on the long grass too as well. So I just click out of it, but in order to continue painting it, you can double click into that grass again. So if you can't select it in 3D, like you can zoom into it and select it, but if you can't do that, you can scroll down on the scene ambience tab right here, and you click the paint vegetation, like what I just did, and you click here again, so you can paint the grass into your project. So doing this is gonna cause a little bit of time, like you're gonna spend a little bit of time. You can even like decrease the diameter so the circle gets smaller. So you can see right here I'm painting like each and every grain of grass, but if sometimes things like this can happen where you paint it onto the objects. So you're gonna have to erase it. So there's this eraser tool right here. You click it and you can, kind of go over that spot again, so it's erased. That's one way you can. That's another way you can add the grass. And let me see. So I think there's also a scatter tool as well, but I don't usually use this scatter tool a lot. I think it's more. Let's find out. Let's see what it is, and let's drag it in here. Yeah, I don't usually use that scatter tool a lot, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I think if you click on each and individual type of grass, you can click this scatter, and then you can click the surface. Yeah, so if you click the surface, it's gonna become like the grass is gonna grow on there. So let's say the first surface that I click is our lawn in Revit model. So I imported this lawn in, so it's gonna scatter that grass material onto this lawn. So if I click it multiple times, it's gonna even scatter. It's gonna create even more grass, as you can see right there. And you can click this remove to remove the grass. Yeah, so it's a cool tool. So to have. Yeah, you can even click this one and drag more, click more to it, or you can even drag this lawn. Wait, let's see. Let's use this long grass one and let's remove all of it. So I can drag this lawn. Oh my gosh, lawn one multiple times in. I think, is that the case? Yeah. So that's how you do it. But as I said, because like this step, I'm not sure because I don't usually use the scatter tool that much. So I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I'm gonna let you guys figure it out. But usually I love to use the Twinmotion 2025 because you can just drag and drop in the 3D grass materials, just like how I did before. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go 3D grass and I'm gonna drag our 3D grass onto the whole surfaces right here. And it's gonna take a while to grow the grass. So one thing to notice when you drop in the 3D grass, sometimes it's gonna cover up your path like this. Like let's say if you have a path in Revit, it's like it's gonna be covered because like the materials below that is the surface. It's also the grass materials. It got changed to the grass material, so it's gonna poke out like this. You see? So my tip is that you can go to Revit and you can raise this path up. You can change the subdivide offset, change it to an inch or two or something like that. Even though it's not gonna look very realistic, it's it's better than the grass pointing out. Or you can go to the import and you can choose the FBX model and you can kind of move it up a little bit like that. Yeah, just a little bit like that, so that the grass is not pointing up. I mean, there's still grass pointing up, so I guess I'm gonna move it a little bit more. There you go. Even though like there's like this step right here, but like we're not gonna see it when we render the image, because when we render the image, the image is gonna be in this angle right here, so we're not seeing that step at all, right? And yeah, that's how you add grass in Twinmotion. And I think I'm gonna even change. I was gonna change the size of the grass. Let's make it a little bit taller so I can change the scale. You can zoom in it, go closer, and change the scale to about 1.3 or something like that. So it's raised a little bit higher. And now let's add some trees. So you're gonna go to library and you're gonna go to vegetation. And again, by default, when you download the 2025 Twinmotion, you're gonna have to re-download all the type of trees, the bush, the detail grass, whatsoever. But in Twinmotion 2024, the materials, like all the stuff was already there, so you can download two of them and drag the library or copy the library file from Twinmotion 2024 to the Twinmotion 2025, so you don't have to download all of them here. So yeah, let's add some trees first. So in Twinmotion, you can go to trees right here, and you can add a few trees in. So I'm gonna use this. Let's see. Let's use this turkey oak first. So I'm gonna draw up maybe three of them, and you can click one, and you can click into the into your project to put it in, just like how I did. And you can scroll down and you can click another type of trees. So I'm gonna click let's use this, let's see, Australian pine or whatever. So I'm dropping one right here, and I'm hitting escape 2 times to escape out of a command. And if you click into one of the trees, so I'm double click into one of it, you can check this one. These are the properties of the trees. So there is the age. So the lower the age, the lower the size it is, like the smaller the size. And the bigger the age, the bigger the size. You see? And you can even change the season. So auto here, it's set to our ambience. So if our ambience is set to summer, it's gonna be summer. But if you set to autumn, it's gonna change the leaf color. And if you set to winter, all the leaves are falling down, right? I'm gonna keep it to auto, and you can even change the leaves tint or the bark tint, whatever it is. Pretty cool, right? And if you double click into this kind of trees, and you can change the season of it, it doesn't change, right? Because in Twinmotion, it reads it input like some kind of trees, like in the it can grow throughout whole in the whole year, so it doesn't change the appearance. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this. And there's another cool thing you can do in Twinmotion when it comes to placing trees, is that you can randomize the type of trees to put. So if you hit Control on your keyboard and you select, let's say, a few types of trees on your left hand side panel. So I'm gonna hold Control on my keyboard, and I'm gonna select this Australian pine, Norway spruce, this Japanese cedar, and this Italian stone pine right here. And I can click, let's say I click 4 times. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, it's gonna load a little bit. And 4 right here. So you can see that it randomized my selection. See? Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? I'm gonna hit Control Z to delete all of them. But another way you can randomize placing trees is that you're gonna go to your populate tool, and you can do the paint tool again. So this is the tool that I use the most when it comes to placing trees in the background. So you can see in our images right here, so you can see a lot of trees in the backgrounds, right? So that's the tool that I use the most. I use the paint tool to generate all of these trees. You can see them right here and right here as well. So that's what I'm gonna do right here. So the paint tool is very simple. You just select the type of trees and you drag in it. So a few trees that has season, like turkey oak is the most common one, and I use this banyan as well. And yeah, you just select whichever one you feel like you like the most, and just find out about it. And I usually go from 4 to 5 to 6 types of trees. That should be good enough. Even 3 should be good enough. Let's go with this one more. And then you can change the diameter of your paint. So you can paint it around your house, something like this. I'm gonna move out. Not move out, but like move further, so I can place it all around our house. So when we render our images, the horizontal line is not going to be shown. So you can even change the diameter to to place even more trees. So I'm going to place a few more on this mountain, because like sometimes in Twinmotion, when you render the mountain, like, it's going to show up here, but you can just put a few trees here. That should be good enough. But yeah, like I'm over exaggerating the trees placement, but over time you will find out like how much trees you need, so you can move around here. And let's say you need to find like a good angle for your render, right? So let's say if you type M on your keyboard, it's gonna take you to walking mode. So this is our human eye kind of mode right here, and you can access that by going to this eye and click this like this human figure right here. So it's gonna take you to the human eye. So this is our human eyes. This is what we see if we actually put in this view, and you can see that with this tree placement, you're not going to be able to see any other horizon line anymore. So that's a good thing. And that's a paint tool. I'm going to select that paint vegetation again, and again I'm going to click the M button, so I'm escaping out of a paint tool, and I'm going to fly up. And again, if you want to remove some of the trees, you can use this eraser and you can erase them. I'm gonna hit control because I don't want to do that. Sorry. And you can click each and every types of trees, and you can change the age, the size, whatever it is to it. You can change the density so it's more dense whatsoever. Yeah, very cool, right? I'm just gonna keep it as what it is right now, and I'm gonna click this one. Escape 2 times to escape out of that tree selection. And what else are we gonna do? Yeah, besides placing trees, you can also place all sorts of things. So at first, let me place some bushes right here in front of our house, just like the image. Let me open one of the image, so you can see all the bushes here. So in order to place some of the bushes, crap, flying too fast. So you go to vegetation and you go to bushes, and you can click and drop some of the bush in, because like there's not a lot of bushes in our scene right here, so I'm just gonna manually drop them in one by one. And yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to placing bushes. There's nothing much you can do. You can even use the paint tool to paint the brush in. Some of it takes a little bit of time, but yeah, I'm gonna drop a few of them in, and maybe a few more on this side, and I'm hitting escape 2 times, and there we have it. There we have our bush. And another cool thing about the paint tool that I didn't talk about is, let's go to populate, and I'm in the paint tool again, right? You can even drop in the bush, the flowers, and you can even drop the trees in as well with along with the bushes. So it's taking a while to load because my screen is lagging. Hold on, there we go. And let's go to vegetation, trees, and let's drop in this kind of trees right here. And another cool thing is that you can even drop in a few rocks in it as well. So I'm going to drop rocks. So it's not the same category, but it's in the same categories of like vegetation, but it's not the same type of plants and trees, you know what I mean. And you can paint them, and you see it's going to be populated with all the types of trees, bush, and rocks. And you can change the the density and the age of each and everything. But yeah, that's another tool that you guys need to know. I realized that I didn't change the materials for the path right here, so I'm going to change that. So in order to change the materials, you can go to library, materials, and you go to let's go ground, and you can go man-made, and you can select all types of materials right here. I'm just going to select this double cobblestone right here. I use this a lot. And let's change the UV and change the scale maybe to 8, maybe 9. Yeah, that should be good. And changing the color, making it a little bit more gray and a little bit more rough. And let's change the luminosity, and there we go. We have a path leading to our house with all the trees and stuff. And in the sample file, like the sample PDF, there's like an autumn scene. You can see it right here, right? And you can see in this image right here, you can see a lot of like leaves, See, because like in autumn all the leaves fall down, right? So you can do that using the paint tool. So let me go to Twinmotion again, go to populate, and you can go to ground, library, my bad, vegetation, and miscellaneous right here. This is dead leaves right here. So I drop these two in and I paint it around the house, so you can see of the dead leaves falling here. Create like a cool little effects, right? But yeah, you can do that if you want. I'm not gonna do that in this video. But yeah, so the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some objects into our house. So when it comes to objects, there's a lot of things you can put. You can put it in a car. So there's vehicles right here. So let's say if you have a garage in the house, you can put a car, and you can, you know, put like a car in front of the house or something like that. I'm just gonna put one so you can see what I mean. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time because you know, in Twinmotion 2025, like the object creation takes time. But yeah, this is the car, and some cars you can click it and you can change the color of it. So like what I'm doing right here, which is pretty cool. And wait, hold on, let's delete that. And yeah, there's tons of cars you can add. But when I'm talking about adding objects, I mean this one. I mean the furniture in the house. So if you go into the house, you can see. Let me show you the image of the interior view. So the interior by default in Revit. Let's go to the floor plan. So to the floor plan, I just model in the chair, the table, and the two armchairs, right? But in Twinmotion, it's gonna be like this. But if you render an interior view like this, it's gonna look very bland. There's no life to it whatsoever. So you can put more life to it, like some few paintings, like what I'm doing here, a few plants, a few cushion, books on the tables, even a carpet right here. So if you put it like this, it looks more lively to it, right? So I'm gonna show you how to do it in Twinmotion. So you can go to Twinmotion, and you can go objects here, and you can go home, and you can go living room because we're in the living room, right? And let's find plants. And in plants, there's tons of plants you can add. I'm just adding a few here. So because this one I downloaded before, so I can just drag and not drag, but I can just click it and drop it into our living room. So I'm adding 3 right here. There you go. And I'll add maybe a few books on the table. So go living room, and you go. Is it books? Is it decoration? Yeah, so should be in decoration. And if you scroll down, yeah, the books are here. I just saw it somewhere. Yeah, books are here, and you can choose the type of books you want. So I'm gonna do book 10, and let's place one here, and book 9. So it's just like this. So it looks more lively, right? You can even there's like a cool trick you can do is you can go to decoration again, and you can go let's go to plants, and let's find like this vase right here. I'm gonna place this orchid. Is that how you say it? I'm gonna download it first because I didn't have it in my library, so it's gonna take a little bit of time to download, but it shouldn't take that much. Yeah, not even a minute, right? So I'm gonna download it first, click that, and I'm gonna place it onto the table like that. And sometimes you can see that the plants are a little bit too big, so you can double click into it, and then you can scale it down so it looks like a vase, right? So scale, let's say like 0.6 of a size. So you hover your mouse over to the axis and you type 0.6, and you're gonna have to do it on 3 sides. 0.6 and 0.6 this side too, and you hit escape 3 times. Oh, I think I'm in the wrong speed, that's why I was moving so fast. But yeah, right now, like you can see, it has more life to it, right? And you can, you know, add more cushion, like you know, cushion, and then the carpet. Yeah, cushion, carpet. And if you're not happy with the size, you can change it and even make it bigger or smaller, and you can add the paintings on the wall like how I did. So the the um, the objects in Twinmotion is very adaptive. So if you click the, let's say the painting, and you hover it over to the wall, it will be placed on the wall. But if you hover it to the floor, it's gonna be placed on the wall. Fuck, my bad, on the floor. You know what I mean? Stutter. So yeah, good luck in placing materials. You can have a lot of fun doing this stuff. Not placing materials, placing objects, and you can even go to the kitchen and place some more as well. So you can see in my kitchen right here, I placed like the plants. I scaled it down. It was really big, and then I placed like a a dining set, and then I placed like a pan, a cutting board with a knife, so make it more lively. Make it looks like someone lived there, and a painting on the wall right here next to the window. So yeah, and one thing that I didn't add in this Revit is that you can go to the bedroom and you see that there's nothing here, just a bed, right? But if you go into Twinmotion, let's move a little bit faster. There you go. There's only a bed, but if you put like some bedside table and then some light and then the carpet down here, it would look very good. And that is it for placing trees and objects and furniture in Revit. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.